Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for you guys. Today guys, of course, we're here checking out the newest episode of the Book of Boba Fett. This is the Book of Boba Fett, Season 1, Episode 3, titled Chapter 3. Don't even know why I'm looking at this point, because as we all know, at this point, you watch the episode, you'll find out the title. They don't tell you when you're looking at it just on the directory on Disney Plus or whatever. You have to actually watch it to find out what the episode is. So Episode 1. Mixed bag overall in terms of people's responses. It had some cool stuff in basically setting up the show, but not a lot actually happened in the first episode. But then, episode 2 went crazy in terms of some really cool reveals, in terms of there's a brother and sister Hutt, I think they're the cousins of Jabba or something, that want the territory that that Boba Fett is now inhabiting and now he's ruling over. And then we have, I don't know how to pronounce the character's name, but a black-haired Wookiee that's from the comics, Black Kershik something, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, shows up, and people lost their minds who know that character. I'm not too familiar with that character, but I looked into it more after, of course, the episode, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. So I'm excited for that potential down the road, because they did say sleep lightly, you know, bounty hunter, like implying we're going to send people after you, we're going to, you know, this is not going to be good for you, because we'll handle this another time. Oh, okay, sure. And then, of course, the flashbacks kind of like after he becomes okay with the Tusken Raiders and kind of earns their respect, essentially, no longer a prisoner in the end of Episode 1. In Episode 2, they stop this freighter train that's going through the desert, and they're riding on those what are they called? I forget, the speedster bikes? Yeah, speedster bikes, and teaching them how to ride them and drive them around. It was really crazy, and it really amped up the episode. And people were even pointing out that there was a couple there, a guy and a girl at this like bar type setting where Boba Fett goes in and destroys all these guys to get their speedster bikes. That those are the characters from the deleted scenes of A New Hope with Luke, and they brought those characters essentially in. That's really crazy stuff, like how much detail they're looking into, like deleted stuff from A New Hope, deleted scenes. I think it's like one deleted scene, but they brought those characters in. Like it's like little stuff like that makes me really enjoy what they're doing, at least on Disney Plus in terms of Star Wars. They're really giving us a lot of crazy stuff that maybe not everybody catches, but once we realize later how important it is, or how, you know, insane that detail is, it really just adds more appreciation to what they're doing on Disney Plus in terms of the Star Wars lore and the world and everything like that. It's great. It's fantastic. So here we go, guys. Let's get into it now. Let's check out Episode 3, Chapter 3 of the Book of Boba Fett. Let's get into it and see what they show us, guys. Let's go.
You can say Jabba.
You can say Jabba.
Jabba the Hutt. Everyone is waiting to see what kind of leader you are.
What kind of leader are you going to be? Oh, the assassins.
No one respects you. Enough!
You just came in there just to say that? Okay, let's see what he says.
Tatooine was once completely covered with water. It's fascinating.
Was it really?
And what is this?
Interesting. Gang.
Look, old man.
My name
Old man.
is Boba Fett.
Don't fuck with him.
We know who you are.
Then you will work for me.
Wow.
You got guts. I'll give you that.
Okay. I think it's the same shot again. Oh, that was interesting. The deserts go on forever. Get lost, I would think. I mean, eventually we'll find something, I'm guessing. Hey! Is that... I forget the name of the Mandalorian, the Book of Mandalorian. The Mandalorian?
Sands have belonged to the Tuskens since the oceans dried.
We are happy to do business with either party.
It's a pretty cool shot, not gonna lie. Oh no! This was not gonna end well. My god. All of them are dead, it seems. I'm guessing that's their symbol. Oh yes. Okay. They got revenge. And they get destroyed because of his decision. Holy shit! Holy shit! Where did you come from? Jesus. Come on. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Okay. They're stepping up. Jesus Christ. My God, it's taking all of them to fight him, and they're still losing. Ooh. That hurt him. God. He can't be stopped. Uh-oh. Oh, gonna shoot his fingers? Ooh. Even better.
I need to respond.
That's what you need to do, yes. Mm-hmm.
The twins are here. They have brought a gift.
What gift? Apologize, really?
Go on.
Go on. It's a Rancor! It's a Rancor! Yeah! Yeah! Danny Trejo? What? What is shooting now?
Say your piece.
We don't want war, bad for business. Okay, are they being truth? Okay, bringing him back.
Where's your prisoner? No hard feelings.
No hard feelings.
Just business.
And he's on. They got a Rancor! It's awesome!
Rancor are emotionally complex creatures.
Really? I didn't know that. Okay.
That is a way of practice.
Excuse me, Lord Fett.
I like it just sneaks in.
We heard back from the mayor's office.
Bringing them too. Okay.
We're here to see the mayor.
We're not waiting for an appointment.
We have a few questions for him.
I advise you to weigh your next words carefully.
Actually,
I found a spot.
rearrange some of the
I love this. He's so scared.
Time sensitive.
And they're gone. Secret passageway out. Oh no. That was close. Good maneuver. Getting boxed in. Yep. Oh. That didn't work out very well. Jesus. That was a good maneuver. Oh my gosh, all that stuff.
He's working with the Pikes.
Is he? A lot of them. Holy crap.
They're going to war.
It's not gonna be good.
Then we will be ready.
There you have it, guys. Episode 3 of the Book of Boba Fett. I really enjoyed this episode. The show's definitely ramping up. It's getting more intense, and I'm excited to see where they go in terms of the flashbacks and current day stuff. So, let's talk quick about the flashbacks, because that was actually a shorter portion of the episode, because we've gotten kind of like a mix of like present day and then flashback stuff in terms of the Tusken Raiders and all that kind of stuff. But in this episode, we only got a little bit of the flashback, and it kind of makes sense because we end on a pretty intense and a pretty, I would say, sad moment, because they actually made us who were watching the show, most of us at least, care for Tusken Raiders, like, because we see them in a very different light in this show in terms of through the eyes of Boba Fett. And when he goes to collect payment for that freighter to go through the Pikes, it's the Pikes, right? Yeah. And so the idea was to have payment, like, well, we already paid that speedster bike gang where he, in episode 2, like, beat the shit out of them and took their speedster bikes. It's like, we already paid them. It's like, but they don't, like, there's way more Tusken Raiders, and they actually have been here since, you know, forever, basically. Even, I think something you mentioned about where Tatooine used to be full of water, so maybe Tusken Raiders have been around for that long, or close enough. So, pay them, and they're like, well, we don't want to do business with both. And so Boba Fett's like, okay, well then, I'll handle it. And then he goes back, and they're all dead. All the Tusken Raiders. And there's the sign, the symbol from that speedster bike gang that he beat the shit out of in episode 2, and they got revenge. They destroyed the whole village. It's pretty crazy. And he has that stick at one point. He's like he has the bodies, and they're all burning, and then he's throwing sticks on there, and then he has that little stick from the little Tusken Raider that was like, kind of his friend in a sense. Like, it was really messed up, but it makes sense. He goes and beats the shit out of that gang. They retaliate, and of course he's not there. So I feel like that's setting up, and also they're setting up the Pikes, I think, to be kind of the main villains, I guess you could say, in this show. I do think the assassins that were sent were not from the Pikes, and it seems like they were not from the Hutts either. Could be wrong, but the impression is that Kira, or some sort of connection to Kira from Solo, Star Wars story, that her character, Emilia Clarke, is still involved in somehow, and they think that's the tie-in in terms of the assassins. Could be wrong, though. So, that was the flashback stuff. So now we have current day. And because we opened the episode with talking about this like gang of like half robot, kinda half humans that are stealing the water supply from this guy, and he's like, well, no one respects you. He's like, okay, like you came here to tell Boba Fett no one respects you. Like, is that smart? Probably not. But then he goes and speaks to this like gang that like just opened, like, yeah, we stole the water, we stole this, whatever. And he's okay, well, work for me then. You're living in the the worker district or whatever. Work for me. If there's no work, and then so he hires them. And so I didn't know how to feel, because I'm like, it's interesting that they're modifying themselves with robot parts and everything to make themselves kind of half human, half robot. But at the same time, their speedster bikes or their like speedster vehicles are like red, yellow, blue. I forgot the other color was, like green or something. It's kind of a weird aesthetic, but I guess, just something a little bit different. So it's something I have to get used to, I guess. But he hires them, and then we have that flashback. Then we cut back, and literally, I think how you pronounce the name is Black Chrysanthemum, something. I think it's something like that. The Wookiee shows up and fights everybody, fights every fucking person in the palace. And he's basically throwing them around like nothing and beating the shit out of them. He has like these electrified gauntlets, or like some sort of like whatchamacallit, brass knuckles, some sort of thing like that. But it's like electrified and like punching people and shit. It was bad. Even that gang jumped in that's not working for Boba Fett. They actually jumped into like all of them, and then of course the Gamorrean guards. It was bad, and then he got thrown into what would be the Rancor pit, and that's the only way he was defeated. I don't think if that was not available, that option, he would have probably killed everybody, or close enough, because he was not stopping or slowing down at all. Like, it was not good, because apparently he was a gladiator, so it kind of makes sense. He was basically built for fighting. He was probably not going to lose that fight, or if he did, it would take a long time to get him to lose. But it was pretty crazy. It was a great action sequence. Then, soon after, they're having a discussion. Hit the mic there, sorry. Fennec and Boba Fett are talking, and like, well, Boba Fett's like, I don't want to eat. I want to respond. Because if we wait too long, the twins, the Hutts, are just going to find another opportunity to strike again. I have to respond. And everyone's waiting to see what my response is going to be. Then the twins show up. They show up. And they're like, we apologize. We did not mean to do this. And like, okay. And they're like, well, we're leaving Tatooine for another reason, not because we're allowing you to keep the territory, because we were both lied to. The territory is actually for the Pikes. And I don't think, no. My throat. Sorry about that, guys. My throat. I'm not sure what the hell's going on there. Anyways, so the Hutts didn't say anything about the Pikes. They just said that the mayor is offering this territory to someone else besides us or you, Boba Fett. And of course he doesn't believe them, and he tells Fennec, I don't believe them. But they give, as a apology, tribute, or whatever, they give him a Rancor. And Danny Trejo is the guy that's bringing the Rancor. And apparently he's going to be training the Rancor. That's pretty cool. Like, I didn't hear anything about Danny Trejo being in the show. That's a pretty cool reveal. Like, oh, by the way, here's Danny Trejo. He's in Star Wars now. That was kind of crazy. And then the way they talked about Rancors was really interesting, too, because apparently they're kind of like dogs in a sense, but the whole thing is like it really bonds with the first person it sees, so it was blindfolded, essentially. And then he bonds with Boba Fett. And it's kind of crazy how, like, because, like, apparently Rancors are deep emotional creatures. I'm like, I didn't know that about Rancors. But then again, that's the beauty of, like, shows like of the shows, especially for Star Wars, because we learn more information that we normally wouldn't get in the films, and probably back then too, when they created the Rancor for the original trilogy. There was no idea that we're going to have another Rancor in here, and Boba Fett's going to be taken over, and we're going to have Danny Trejo explain more about Rancors. So it's interesting how they develop stuff like that we already know, and so it's pretty cool. So apparently he wants to ride the Rancor. He wants to ride it like a, like, I guess, I don't know, like a horse or something. He's supposed to ride the Rancor. Okay, he's like a road beast 10 times bigger than this. Okay, can we see that? I want to see that in a flashback. So he also lets the Wookiee go. Black Chrysanthemum, or how you pronounce it, and I'm probably butchering it. But anyways, he lets him go. And apparently in the comics or something, Boba Fett and that Wookiee, they become friends, or they work together. So I thought they were going to be setting up that he was going to stay with Boba, but apparently not. Maybe not till later on in the season. Who knows? But he runs away. It's like, okay, bye. But I'm guessing he'll be back at some point. And then the mayor is working with the Pikes, and the Pikes start showing up, and it looks like it's gonna be a war. There's gonna be a war, and it's not really good. Not really good, but I'm definitely intrigued because I feel like the show, like I was mentioning in the intro of this review, that it's starting to ramp up, and you're starting to kind of see what this show is going to end up being in terms of the Pikes are probably going to be the kind of main focus, I think. But maybe there's another twist that we're not expecting in terms of Kira or another character entirely, because there's a couple different theories of who's going to pop up in the show, and apparently based off of what I forget how you pronounce his name, but the actor who plays Boba teased that we're going to be getting some big surprise or some big moments in the finale, which, I mean, it makes sense. It's the final episode of the show, but he was teasing some big, crazy stuff, so I don't know, but I'm enjoying the show so far. What did you guys think of the episode? I'm curious to know your thoughts, guys. I overall thought it was pretty damn good, and I'm definitely now more excited, for sure, because episodes 2 and now 3 are definitely an improvement, in my opinion, over the first episode, which wasn't terrible, but could have been better, in my opinion. But anyways, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Whatever thoughts you have about the episode, let me know in the comments below, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.